over from the back of the courtyard and join with young Dave Hancock here. He's the world authority on Hondas. Did you design this or just a Honda designer?
No, it's a bit before my time.
You're not that old, not that young. You know?
I'm not as old.
67. I'm not as old as you. Nobody's as old as me. So, we're going to run through these bikes, then you're going to hear them running. We're going to do a few laps of the Grand Prix circuit outside. How lucky you are. The opportunity of a lifetime to hear the world's greatest bikes running. So, James is just bringing over his Kawasaki Gearling. Great success at the TT, British Superbikes, and he's done Paris-Dakar too. So here we go, we're just bringing this Kawasaki in. I was trying to ring up Michael Gearling this morning to get him here, but I couldn't raise him, so there we go. Right, what a selection of machinery. Allen's little 100cc V-twin that he manufactures, the RC93. This is a very, very famous bike, production racer Dave.
Yeah, it's a very famous bike actually, which a lot of people started racing on, didn't they, Sammy, years and years ago? Yeah, and is this yours?
Of course.
Right, okay. Is it for sale?
No. Anyway, what was interesting, they're 175cc, aren't they?
Yeah, they were. Well, these were 125, weren't they?
Yeah, and then when all the ones that went to Northern Ireland, Ulster, my homeland, they brought them out to 200.
They brought them out to, was it 197 or something like that? Yeah, they did. But they were cheating though. Did you cheat or not?
Well, they all did that over there, you know. Anyway, get sharpened up, Hancock. Get sharpened up. Your mate, Briggy, Molly Briggs' husband, Alf Briggs. When he was with Honda gave him all the stores of CR93 stuff. So I managed to get, this is a brand new fairing that I managed to get off Alf because the other one was beat to death. That's brand new. Never been raced that.
No, it's very good. Give us this, let me have a chat. So, yeah, these were, when I started racing in, long after you, but in the late 70s, and they were just coming to an end, these CR93s then, because there were works bikes, weren't there, and production bikes, and this is a production version. And we bought one years ago off of you. Do you remember a works one that we had? Do you remember how much we had to pay for it?
Not telling this lot. Anyway, young James Hillier, love to have you here. So, Kawasaki and you are one of a kind, you know. So, what's the history of this Kawasaki? I gather this is one of your first bikes.
Yes, it was Michael de Bidder, the local gentleman.
Michael,
yeah, and Norma, they backed me, I would say, from off the back of a.
I'm going to try and ring him up to get him here.
It would be nice. Yeah, very, very local, Michael, and with a Gearlink in Salisbury Gearbox Company, and they kind of jumped on board with my career early days off the back of a Hampshire Chronicle appeal for sponsors, and kind of cut my teeth really on that bike in 05-06 in the British Supersport Championship, and it was I'd probably argue it was the most competitive era of British Supersport back then, with Cal Crutchlow, Laverty, Leon Camier, Jay Vincent, Tom Sykes, the names that some are still racing now even. But yeah, I learned a lot and got a lot of my crashing out the way. There's a few battle scars on that bike, but that's kind of how you learn, and got that part of my career out the way before I began the road racing. But I genuinely don't really feel old enough for that thing to be 20 years old. You know, it's really a bit of a reality check just glancing over it, and it's nice that it's here in the museum because Michael donated it when we had finished with it, and I quite regularly get
Paris-Dakar, that's Charlie Boardman's bike there. He crashed off that about the third day and broke his wrist, do you remember? So, you've had some dramas on the Paris-Dakar. Are you going to tell me or not? So are you going to ride again this year, are you?
That's the plan, yeah. Yeah, that's, I haven't put anything out yet, but the plan is, I've put my entry in, so I haven't got the entry fee in full yet, but that's the goal now, just to...
Hancock wants to know how much it costs to enter.
The bare basic entry is... Don't tell you. Well, it's all on the website to see if you would look, but it's the basic entry without buying a motorcycle or a single tyre or any flights to get to Saudi Arabia is €20,500.
So he's going right for a collection from you, like you're sponsor.
But you get your fuel and food included in that. It's like a 2-week all-inclusive, just not as relaxing. So.
And you got to sleep in a tent, and are you got any backup this year, or are you doing your own bike?
No, I'll go alone. That's the proper way to do it, I think. It's the hardest way, but for me that's the proper way to do it. So I'm going in the Malay category again.
Well, I thought the Scottish 6-day was long enough, and I wouldn't want... How many days is the Paris-Dakar?
13.
Too long for me. Right. Sit on that bike and see what you feel about it. Happy memories coming up. There you go. He's just going to start the TT. How many TT? No, it won't start. Gearlink couldn't get a run for me. Did you ride this in TT?
No, this was pre-TT, so I rode this 05-06, my first TT with 2008.
Northwest 200?
2009 I started at Northwest. So no, I didn't do any road racing.
The last time I was at Northwest you finished third. Why was that? Were you not trying hard enough?
It wouldn't have been lack of trying, no, it was better people on the day.
It wasn't a bad day, was it? But you did well, you weren't far off.
No, we were in the mix there. The last few years at Northwest, I haven't done it the last 2 years, but we've always been sort of top 5 or 6. It's a good atmosphere at the Northwest and good test running up to TT. We always try to break the bike at Northwest or highlight any weak points before going to TT.
How many times did Miller win the Northwest 200 bet?
How many times what, sorry?
Did Miller win the Northwest 200?
You'll have to tell me, Sammy.
Whispering in your ear, 3.
3, okay, well.
On the trot, 3 on the trot on the NSU works Sport Max there. So great job. You'll be riding this shortly, so we're going to run through the bikes and then we're going to start them up and do a few laps in the parade. So there we go. Who have we got now? Where's young Millyard? Come on, young Millyard. This is the inventor of all time. Great to have you back, Alan. Great to have you back. So, this is wonderful bit of gear here. You made quite a few of these. You've got one of them over in the museum. Tell me all about it.
Well, basically, it's a 1974 Honda SS50 with an extra cylinder, which makes it go like it should have gone. It would actually be an FS1E now, so it's actually quite nice to ride. But I made 4 of them. There's one in the Barber Museum. Sammy's got one alone here, and then this is my personal one. I made one for a friend. They're just a hoot to ride. They'll cruise at 60 miles an hour, so it's lovely.
Well, you've done a wonderful job, and what I like about all your projects, they all work. You got lots of development engineers, and they make these things, but they never get them perfected. Over the years, there's many great designers, developers, experimenters, but they never get it finished like you.
Well, it's really important that you ride the bikes. I've done 1,000 miles on that bike, which is not a lot, but it is on a little bike. But my bike that I've just sold did 10,000 miles on that. I've done 10,000 miles on the Flying Millyard.
Can you lot concentrate? I don't know whether to ask you this or not, but you don't answer it if you don't want to. You just sold a bike last Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
The Viper, that's the... What engine was it?
1992 Dodge Viper GTS 500, 8 litre.
Did you hear that? You didn't hear that?
8 litre V10.
What?
8 litre V10.
Right. So he's going to buy a house for the money he sold it for. So how about that, girl? You wanted a bigger house, so he sold a bike to buy you a bigger house. Isn't that wonderful? And what's more, he's got his own private test track like Miller. And he's got loads and loads of sheds, so you've hit the jackpot.
There will be a few sheds going up, definitely.
You need for your collection, fantastic, wonderful. Anyway, so hey, you better come in here, Hancock. Right.
All right.
Tell this lot about the lilac.
Well, it's one that you bought about 3 weeks ago.
No,
4
you
weeks
bought
ago.
it for me.
I bought it for you, yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Don't try to miss the.
what Sammy does, because I work for Bonhams and I now work for Iconic, but anyway, he comes and has a look round all the bikes.
With you.
With me, because he thinks I know what I'm doing, but I don't really, but anyway. And then he'll decide on everything he wants, and he never comes on the day. But what he does is he registers and then he gives me his paddle, and I have to bid all the bikes for him, and I have to phone him up and I'll say, what do you want to do, Sammy? And when everybody's going up in thousands, he'll go,
No, hundreds, get it right.
hundreds, he'll go, £10,000, and I'd shout to the auctioneer and they go, what? And I say, I've got Sammy on the phone. They go, oh, okay then. And we bought that, didn't we? That was
Yeah, that was cheap, £6,000 on that.
it was £6,000, yeah, very good.
Tell the history then.
Well, it
You don't
came,
know the history, right?
I do, it was a long,
5961.
yeah, it's a long story. But I worked for Honda for 30 years, you know, as many of you know and whatever, but years and years ago when they were building the collection hall in Japan, you know where Motegi is and the circuit, well I used to go to Japan every month, so, and sometimes more and more and more. So I watched the collection hall being built years and years ago, and there was a guy called Mr. Iker who was the original team manager. This is in '89 when it all started to go, and he came over to Europe basically to buy bikes, and he was going around buying all sorts, and we ended up with a warehouse in Tochigi in Japan which had 200 bikes in it. None of them were Hondas. So he was going around and buying, like we bought one off you, didn't we? And we bought loads of others. So they'd been there for nearly 30 years. And this is when I was with Bonhams. So we then had a meeting and went and saw the bikes in Japan, and we brought them over, and this was part of the first 100 which was sold. But there was all sorts of bikes that he bought. He bought G50s, he bought Suzuki's, we bought Parishines 500, RG 500, and we bought Mike Aylward's MV, and we sold them all. I mean, the MV went for £957,000, including the premium in April, and Barry's went for over 750,000. But these had just been stood in a warehouse for 30 years by Honda, and nobody even knew they were there. So I had a meeting with Fuji-san in Goodwood Festival, and he just said, oh, I didn't know you worked for Bonham. We've got a few bikes, would you like selling them? So there's 200 bikes there, which we did. So that's the story.
Anyway, I always took a shine to this. You missed the gem what we were trying to sell them. So, lilac. Marushi was a famous guy in Japan who manufactured bikes, and he sort of took British bikes and continental bikes. This is really a forerunner of an after-runner of the Victoria Burgomaster. Anyway, it's a V-twin 250, wonderful styling and beautiful, and an all-new Honda lot. If you look at it, the early Hondas were very similar to this because Honda brought them out when they went bankrupt. When Malaysia went bankrupt, Honda brought them out, and Honda used lots of the styling on their models from 1961 onwards. So almost an early Honda.
Yeah. And if you look at the quality of it, I mean, you would never produce that now because you couldn't afford to. But I mean, it's a shaft drive, a V-twin, and the actual quality of the bike's incredible, isn't it? I think you bought that too cheap, really.
Absolutely. Who's running that bike? Can you stop it?
Somebody coming in.
Well, tell them to stop it. Right, silence is golden. So where do we get to? We've done Alan, and we've done James and young David. So we'll start these bikes up now just to let you hear them, and then after we've started them up, we'll have them out and do a few laps on the circuit. So there we go. So we're young Jim. He's the top man. Here's electric starters. Here we go. Right. If you do the lilac first, Jim, because that's an easy peasy. Should be easy. Electric starts. There you go. Swing as a dream. Are the chokes on, Jim? No. Chokes are on. There you go. Can you imagine the quality of that when we were selling James's and BSA's, C15s against that? Francis bonnets and dots, not much competition, you know. So, but if you look at the brakes, the shaft drive, V-twin, and the quality is just out of this world. So what are we going to do next? I think it's the RC181. Young David, tell us about the RC181. Did you race this and look after the team? This was Hillier job, 1967.
Yeah, it was a 500 which Hellwood rode the similar one, then it went on to the 6 cylinders, as we all know, the RC166s and the 173 and the 174. So yeah, it was a very famous bike.
Hillier, you're riding this, you better come over and get sorted out on it. Right. Listen to the instruction. What's your right, left foot here. Contact Jim, electric. On there. Right, you all remember Agostini and the great Mike Hillwood having a ding-dong in the, was it the 67 TT? 67 TT, and it was a mega battle, and I think it was on the last lap when Aga was leading by about 5 or 6 seconds. He came round the mountain mile or something, and the Regina rear chain broke, and course at a standstill in tears, and Mike went on to win the ultimate TT, the senior TT on not this bike but an RC181, a similar bike. So there we go. So this is a little production sort of racer. There you go. Tell them a bit about it. Hancock.
Yeah, as we said before, this is a CR93, which is was a production bike for anybody to buy years and years ago. They're very sought after now. I mean, then they were sort of 10 a penny, but a good one now is fetching probably about 35 grand. So they're not a cheap bike to buy, but the good ones are very, very good, and they were fantastic for people just to, you know, production race and be very competitive.
Right, so we'll have a 100cc V twin. 100cc V twin, 250cc engines put together. So for all you handymen at home, if you have a look, so what you do, you just cut a hole in the crankcase at the top, stick another barrel head and a con rod to it. You can do that. Keep them from getting bored in the garage. So Alan will tell you how to do it. There you go. The little exhaust sound, they're very magic, you know. I'm not quite sure about putting that carburetor through the flame. So
Yeah, very good, very good.
what do you think about that, Dave?
Very nice.
Why did the Honda do that?
Well, I don't think we've got the technology.
It's amazing what Alan has turned out, and as I said, they all work, and they work perfectly, probably better than what Honda got them to work, you know. The induction and the carburetor, is that the same induction length?
No, I wanted to keep the original frame. So if I'd have made a new frame, I'd have the same induction length. But to be honest with you, it doesn't. I'm not after horsepower. I made 10.5 horsepower on dyno, which is quite good really for 100.
100cc, yeah. So, and what else did you have to do? How did you get the cranks? How did you get another con rod on the crank? Slimmer rods or something?
I got a new crank pin made that's longer.
You listen to this.
Then you widen the crankcases by 10 millimeters, and it all fits in.
You want your notebook? You want your notebook?
It's pretty obvious, really.
Yeah.
Anybody knows what they do. I mean,
Not like me.
Not like you, no.
Great. So anyway, there we go. What time is it now? We're nearly ready for the fire up. So if you all gather along the side there, have you got the side clear there?
Okay, if we can just ask everybody to make their way to the car park, but don't stand in the bike, stand to one side. The marshals will help guide you round, because the boys will then do laps around the bikes that are parked in the middle. So please just be health and safety conscious, and we'll be out shortly to demonstrate some bikes.